Martin Sellner and James Allsup just had their channels deleted by YouTube. And this is just, it's really despicable. Martin Sellner had a little over 100,000 subscribers, and James Allsup had a little over 500,000 subscribers. But without warning, in both cases, even though both channels didn't have any strikes or any kind of warning or anything, they were deleted by YouTube because of their political content. In the case of Martin Sellner, it's pretty straightforward. Martin Sellner is a young up-and-coming politician in Austria. He is what you would call hard right. He is against mass immigration, and he is against a whole host of the typical neoliberal globalist policies. Now, the thing is, just full disclosure, I know Martin. In fact, I went to his wedding reception just this past month in Vienna. He's a wonderful guy, and he's a very charismatic guy, by the way. And I think that that's precisely why they deleted his channel, because he's politically effective. And so he was having a big impact in Austrian politics. And I guess somebody just got sick and tired of him having this disproportionate political influence, and so they nuked his channel, no warning, no strikes. And I can say categorically that he, in his channel, had always been squeaky clean insofar as the terms of service are concerned, and copyrights and all the rest of it. He never advocated anything that could be remotely considered illegal, and he never had any hate speech, even though that's the rationale that YouTube is using to delete his channel. That rationale that YouTube is using is a lie. He never advocated for any kind of harassment of any group. There was no hate speech on his channel at all, and I watched his channel, okay? And so I know whereof I speak. That's an outright lie that YouTube said, and that was the justification to delete his channel, to silence Martin Sellner. Now, in the case of James Allsup, it's actually more troubling if you think about it, because see, Martin Sellner, as I mentioned, is much more of a political figure. And so you could say that it's Austrian politics or who knows what. But in the case of James Allsup, he is an American living out in Washington State. And his whole thing is to point out what's going on in American society from a conservative perspective, and show, by way of using mainstream media sources, what's really going on. And the fact that his channel was deleted, that he, as an American citizen, putting out content in YouTube, which is an American company, well, he got silenced, even though he had 500,000 subscribers, okay? Hundreds of thousands of views for every single video that he put out. This is deeply troubling because, see, he was not advocating for any kind of political policy, unlike Martin, who Martin is a political figure. But James Allsup is a commentator using mainstream sources. And so, although both deletions are outrageous, the deletion of James Allsup is particularly worrisome because he wasn't advocating anything. And yet he also was hit with this whole, YouTube has eliminated this channel, deleted this channel because of hate speech bullshit, because it was bullshit. Because with James Allsup, whom I do not know, though I've interacted with him a couple of times, and he seems like a great guy, well, James Allsup also never advocated anything that could be considered hate speech or any kind of harassment or anything racist or anything of the sort, and yet his channel was deleted. I'm really hot under the collar as I'm doing this video. It's actually proving to be a harder video to make than I realized because I'm so fucking pissed off. Last week I told you about the Iconoclast. The Iconoclast, a British YouTuber up in Scotland who was doing videos that were commentary videos from a conservative perspective. And he was squeaky clean. And here you have, less than a week later, you got Martin Sellner and James Allsup, who combined had over 600,000 subscribers, and they also got snuffed out. just because they're conservative, see? And not even like Republican conservative. No, the Republican conservative are corporatist shills. They don't count. What they were is people, James Allsup and Martin Sellner, are against this whole globalist neoliberal paradigm that eschews the common people, who a paradigm that is all about corporations milking the people, milking them and then slaughtering them in their pointless wars. That's what they're against, okay? And it's something that I'm against. And they were making commentary. I mean, in the case of the Iconoclast, Dan the Iconoclast, and James Allsup, they were making commentary videos that used mainstream sources. They weren't, they weren't reporting like fake news or something out of like David Icke or some crazy ass shit like that. They weren't talking about like, I don't know, the lizard people taking over, some absolute idiocy such as that. No, they were using mainstream sources, CNN, The Guardian, MSNBC, The New York Times, using those mainstream sources to show up how insane so many things that are going on today really are, and how detrimental to the overall society these things really are. That's what they were doing, which is what, it's commentary. I'm so fucking outraged by this shit, yeah? I'm outraged because it's wrong. It's so unfair. And so I just want to say in this video that I fully support James Allsup and Martin Sellner. And I've invited both of them to put up guest videos on my channel. I'm fortunate enough to have you, my audience, and something like 220,000 subscribers. And I'm so thankful to all of you for watching it. But to tell you the truth, I feel that I would be acting irresponsibly if I did not share my platform, my audience, with both James and Martin and Dan. And Dan, by the way, next week is going to be putting up a video on this channel, and I will fully support that video. Yeah, and I've invited both James and Martin to put up videos on this channel about whatever they want to talk about, and hopefully they'll talk about this particular situation. And I'm doing this video so that you know what's going on. I mean, a lot of you guys, you don't care because you got other shit going on in your life, and that's perfectly understandable. Okay, I'm not like begrudging you that. I don't begrudge you having a life outside of fucking YouTube, right? Yeah, but for me, this hobby has really grown in my mind. Okay, it's been incredibly fulfilling in so many ways. I've met really incredible people. I mean, Martin Sellner, for instance, I never would have met him had it not been for YouTube. And these are people whom I respect. And some of them I'm fortunate enough to call my friends, and I support them. And even if they weren't my friends, I'd still support them, and I'd still offer up my channel for their content so that people can know what's going on. And if my fate is to be silenced like Sellner and Allsup and Dan the Iconoclast, well, I'm not going to fucking like it, but at least I'll be in good fucking company. You know what I'm saying? Because all these people who are being deleted, yeah, they are smart. They are telling the truth. They are speaking truth to power. They are holding on to their principles. They are acting as men whom anybody can show nothing but respect. And that's why YouTube and the social justice warriors types that are at YouTube running the show with their grubby little fingers on the red buttons that delete channels, right? Those people hate them. They hate them because of their decency, because of their moral forthrightness and uprightness, because of the fact that they show up truth to power. They show up how full of shit these people are. They show them up, and that's why they are hated, and that's why they are persecuted. So if the same fate befalls me, I'll be in fucking good company. That's what I know. But I also know what I quoted at the beginning of this video, Sam Hyde's quote, These people mean to drive you broke, dead, rape and brainwash your children, and they'll laugh about it because they think it's funny. I'm not quoting it exactly because my memory is not so good and I'm an old man, but you get the point. Yeah, these fuckers think it's funny. They think it's funny to destroy somebody's livelihood, because that's what happened to Dan the Iconoclast. His channel was his livelihood, and that's what's happened to James Allsup. His channel was his livelihood. And insofar as Martin, the channel wasn't his livelihood, but it allowed him to showcase his ideas. And the thing is, see, his ideas must have been fucking good, because a lot of fucking people in Austria are watching him. Huh? Yeah, that's the thing. They want to drive us all broke and silence us and then kill us and then take our children and rape them and brainwash them. And then they're going to have a party and laugh about it. That's what these people are up to. Never forget it. In a couple of days, I'm going to make an announcement about my channel and insofar as BitChute is concerned, because I realize that, my days are numbered. And so my goal will be to have you, my audience, know where you can find me when the day comes that my channel has been deleted. I'm sorry I'm so fucking hot under the collar, right? And I wish that this could be like a happy announcement and I'd be all happy-headed, you know what I mean? But it's just the despicable unfairness of it. Yeah? How despicably unfair. They set these rules, right? And people abide by these rules, but they don't have these rules. No, they're not for everybody. No. These rules are just for show. They're just for show. Because what they really want to do is get us all broke, dead, our kids raped and brainwashed, and then have a big party and laugh about it. Fuck those cocksuckers.